What's happening, troops? Welcome back to another video here in the SharpDiv YouTube channel. If you're new in here, then please hit that subscribe button as we head towards 14k subscribers. Is Scottish football tinpot? I don't think so, but let's have a wee laugh at some that do think so. I've got to start with the man, the myth, the not so much of a legend, Jamie O'Hara. I know this is kind of old news, but it still absolutely cracks me up when he was on TalkSport radio, live on the radio, yes, actually getting paid for this as well, saying that Bournemouth was a bigger club than Rangers.
I mean, I wouldn't want to disrespect the Rangers people because they're a huge football club, but it's a bigger job.
What is?
To potentially be the Bournemouth manager.
I mean, firstly, let's talk about the stadium capacity. Bournemouth stadium capacity isn't even 12k. I mean, not to mention, Bournemouth have never won a major trophy in their puff. No European trophy, no league titles, no league cups, no FA Cups. Absolutely nada. What are you smoking, Jamie? Because I want some. I'm sorry, but Dundee United, Hibs, Aberdeen, Hearts, probably another couple of teams up here in Scotland are a bigger bloody job than the Bournemouth job. I think when you mention Rangers, you need to kind of throw Celtic in there as well. And between those two clubs, they've got 225 major honours to Bournemouth's nil. Jamie, boy, you've had an absolute mare. In fact, I'll go on the record to say, if Bournemouth win a major trophy in the next 10 years, I'll get a Bournemouth crest tattooed to my arse. To source the next few gems that we're going to discuss, I've had to go on to Twitter. Scottish football is at the same level as a weekend pub league. Big statement from the man there. Let's look at the head-to-heads between Scottish clubs and English clubs in Europe. After all, the Scottish League is at the equivalence of a weekend league, so all the teams in England should have no bother at all spanking us left, right and centre. Oh no, this went tits up. The first European game in 1960 finished 3-1 on aggregate to Rangers versus Wolves. Now granted, the next couple of matches that happened, Spurs managed to beat Rangers and Liverpool managed to slenderly beat Celtic. So he actually might have a point here. Let me detract that actually. Dunfermline in 1970 beat West Brom 1-0. So it's 2 each again. Scotland are doing alright for a weekend league. 1970-1971 season, Celtic have beat Leeds 3-1. No, again, that Celtic beat Nottingham Forest now 2-1 on aggregate. Don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying that Scottish clubs will always beat or compete with English clubs. That's just not logical, but for a period of time, they could hang with them very, very easily. And probably the most high-profile game between the champions of Scotland and the champions of England, the Battle of Britain, and it was Rangers that came out on top. 4-2 victors over 2 legs. And since then, English teams have absolutely battered Scottish teams, but also at the same time, Scottish teams have gave themselves really good results versus English teams. Recently, Celtic done really well versus Manchester City. They beat Man United. Rangers drew with Man United. So for this absolute moron to come away with a statement like that, it's just bewildering, it's stupid, it's embarrassing, just don't say it. The next one I really like as well, it's the comparison between Watkins, who played in the Championship last season, and Odsonne Edouard that's at Celtic currently. Now to be fair to the original Villa fan, he made a really good point. People can't moan at them putting in a £30 million bid for Edouard, which was of course just rumoured, when they're willing to pay like 25 million for Watkins. A 40 goal a season striker in the SPL. Oh my god. That would make him twice the player that Edouard is. So fair enough, okay. Edouard scored goals in the Scottish League. He scored goals in the Championship. So let's compare where both of them came from then. Odsonne Edouard started at the PSG Academy. Watkins is going to need a big one to trump this. Exeter. Right, fair enough. It might just be a one-off. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes players don't get noticed and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll look at their national team unders levels then, right? Edouard has scored 4 goals for the under-18s there. That's actually really impressive. And Watkins, 0 for the under-18s of England, right? Well, he might have been a late developer, do you know what I mean? He might have got in the 19 squad and done alright. So Edouard scored 5 goals in that, and he scored 0 again. There's a trend going on here, isn't there? I'm actually scared to tell you the last statistic. Watkins, 0 goals for the under-21s of England. But fair enough, they're a good team and all that. Nah, I'm not having it. France, world champions. Edouard, 15 goals for the under-21s. Argument closed. Get to your bed, wee man. £2 million for a Scottish pub player. QPR fan there weighing in on the team signing Lyndon Dykes. Sent me pie on his face straight away because how did his debut go, mate? That's right, scored. scored. We interrupt this part of the programme for a very inspiring, motivational video from Bournemouth.
Let's hear you say AFC Bournemouth. We will be victorious. AFC Bournemouth. We will be victorious. Now we're fast and we're focused and we're ready to score. Super fit and we're fierce.
Cut that off right now, man. I can't take any more of it. Back-to-back relegations, hopefully for them, because that is just absolutely stinking. Wow, move on. Any team in England's top 4 can win the Champions League. Do you know what? He might have got us here. Last year you had Liverpool, obviously Champions League. Who else? You had Man United. They're coming back. They've won Champions Leagues. And Chelsea, they've had one Champions League after having lots of money pumped into them as well. But who's the last team actually? Table? Oh no, he's not, has he? Man City. Manchester City have spent over £1 billion, yet they still haven't made it to a Champions League final. And ever since they got all that investment, this is a record in the Champions League. First 2 seasons, group stage. Second 2 seasons, last 16. We're seeing a progression here, so maybe next year they can do alright. Semi-finals the following year, but put out as well, so just bottled it when it came to the crunch. Oh no. It's saying here that in the last 3 seasons, it was at last 16 in the quarter-final twice. Getting put out in Monaco, Lyon, Spurs? Is that right? Don't even get me started on the Champions League. It's not the Champions League anymore, because if it was, the teams in all the leagues in Europe, their winners would actually go straight into the competition. Now it's just the Elite League. What you mentioned, by the way, in the last match, Man City actually got put out by a striker who learned his trade in Scotland. Righty, the last one that we'll finish with is this absolute belter. Rangers and Celtic would not make it out of the Championship. No, I just can't, honestly. I really can't. Do you know what? Actually, we might struggle, to be fair. Like, we'd go down there, we'd struggle to keep our best players, because they wouldn't want to play in that league. No chance of Europe, just playing game after game after game. In fact, I think Rangers and Celtic would lose all their best players, really. I honestly do, but it wouldn't take much to get back up, because we've got some players that used to play up here that we could just re-sign. They smash it in the Championship. They couldn't do it up here, mind you, but they smash it in the Championship. All Rangers would need to do was get Warburton back. Martin Waghorn could come back to Rangers. He'd bag in plenty of goals. Maybe even Joe Worrell. He can come back and it'll be cushy. Celtic would do alright as well, because they could just re-sign Daryl Murphy. I know up here he couldn't hit a barn door, but down there he averages about 25 goals a bloody season or something like that if he's still kicking about. But aye, that's going to do us for the end of this video, man. If you've enjoyed this type of video, hit the like button, and I might do a part 2, because there's plenty of ammunition to fire back down there. But anyway, I've been SharpDiv, you've been yourself, and I'm out.
All my weakness keep on